Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Fright Night Friday movie review here on the Multimedia Chronicles. Today, we're going to go further into the further. I'm, of course, talking about the latest chapter in the Insidious saga, Chapter 3, which is actually a prequel to the whole darn thing. Yes, at long last, we can see how it all began. So how is it? Well, let's talk about it today on the Multimedia Chronicles Fright Night Friday.
The man who can't breathe. The man who lives in the vents. I heard him saying your name last night. I heard him in your room while you were gone. He's in there right now, standing in your room.
Welcome back. Well, a couple of Halloweens ago, I, of course, did a double feature review of the first two Insidious movies. And I had a lot of good things to say about them, and that's way too high. Let's put them down on the shelf where you can actually see them. Alright, there they are. So when I heard they were doing a third one, hell yeah, sign me up. Really enjoyed the first two. Would love to see the third. And, finally checked it out. And, and I watched it, and I'm going to say stuff about it, and yeah. Sorry, I was trying to fumble for words there as I was putting things on the shelf, and I was more focused on putting things on the shelf. Alright, so Insidious Chapter 3 finally tells us the backstory of Elise, the medium who has helped out the families in the first two films. So we actually find out not only how she got back into being a medium after going away from it for a while, but also how she met up with her ghost hunter friends and how they all got together and started helping each other. And it's a lot of fun. So for the longest time, I was trying to figure out where the heck do I know the actress, Lynn Shay, who plays Elise. I swear I've seen her somewhere before. And then I've been watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street movies again. She was the school teacher. She was Heather's school teacher in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And then in New Nightmare, she plays a nurse. So that's where I'd seen her before. I'd seen her from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So, yeah. So pretty cool. I mean, she was just kind of a character actor then. But here, I mean, this is like probably one of the biggest roles she's ever had. I mean, she's very front and center in all three of them. So it essentially starts off with a young girl who is trying to contact the spirit of her dead mother. She needs to ask her some things and just, feels that her mother's been trying to contact her and wants to contact her to confirm if she has been trying to get in touch with her, what she's trying to tell her, things like that. So she hears about Elise and goes to meet with her, but Elise refuses to help, saying that, but basically she can't for personal reasons. We learn essentially that in Elise's case, there is an entity on the other side, in the further, that wants to kill her. So it's for her own protection. She doesn't want to go back into the further because she doesn't want to deal with this woman. But she also warns the girl about trying to contact her mother herself, because sometimes it's not who you think it is. This is kind of like what I was talking about with Annabelle, how with Annabelle it was claiming to be the spirit of a young girl. It was actually a demon masquerading as a young girl. Well, in this case, it's the same kind of idea, that it's not actually, may not actually be her mother. It might actually be something evil pretending to be her mother to try to get her to open the doorway, essentially, into our world. So needless to say, the girl tries to contact her mother, and needless to say, opens the door and lets something through. Something that's trying to take possession of her. attacks her brutally. In fact, she's just getting more and more banged up over the course of this movie. She ends up like in a double leg cast and a neck brace, and just this poor girl just gets the tar beat out of her over the course of the movie. So essentially, she keeps seeing this basically this demon that appears to be a desiccated man with an oxygen mask. She just becomes more and more worn down by the attacks and by this creature that keeps plaguing her, to the point where she's practically comatose, and so then Elise has to essentially risk going into the further to try to bring her back. So what's happening is the demon is trying to take her soul and take her body to get into our world. So pretty scary stuff. So meanwhile, Elise has to go in and fight the demon and help the girl, but at the same time has to fend off this other evil spirit that's trying to kill her. And yeah, there's some great moments throughout, and it was really good to see Lin Shaye front and center in this one. I mean, she's very much the star in this one, and it's very much her story as much as it is the story of the young girl. And I have to say, I mean, there's some genuinely heartfelt, touching moments in this. That now, I should say, this is very much PG-13 horror. So if you're going in expecting something with the level of intensity of, say, The Conjuring, you're not going to get it here, because this is horror that's suitable for family viewing. But there are some pretty good scares throughout. I mean, the guy with the oxygen mask is pretty scary, and some of the spirits that Elise encounters in the further are definitely creepy. Some of the stuff the demon makes the girl do, I mean, when it's taking possession of her and has her walking, threatening her father and other people with like a knife, and she's smashing the leg casts off. And meanwhile, she can't walk properly because, I mean, her legs are still broken, but the demon is forcing her to walk on her broken legs, and it's pretty nasty. Yeah, this is not a nice demon. And of course, we get to see the Ghostbusters guys again. We get to see sort of their beginnings. So they started off with just a web series, and the son of the the younger brother of the girl watches their show and says, we should call these guys in, they can help. And it turns out they're full of shit. They just they just make videos and it's all fake and such. They get more than they bargained for, because of course this is the real deal. And so then it tells how Elise and them got together and basically helped each other. So it's like, well, I'll show you the real thing and you'll have an even better show, so kind of cute how they get together. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what more I can say, really. I mean, I enjoyed it very much. It's a worthy addition to the story. I understand there is a chapter 4 in the works. I'm not sure where they're going with the story in that one. If it's going to be, I can't imagine it being yet another prequel. I would think it would be another sequel, but which means possibly no Elise in it this time, because if you've seen the second one, well, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But wherever they take it, I will be there, because I've been enjoying the series so far. I mean, not all horror needs to be R-rated, blood and guts splattering all over the place. I mean, if it's got a decent story to it, count me in, and some good scares, and this one does too. I mean, there's another touching moment with where she meets what she thinks is her dead husband. And I should mention also about this demon is it tries to get people to kill themselves, and basically by tricking them. So in this case, he's trying to trick Elise by disguising himself as her husband and saying, oh, I miss you, I want you to join me on the other side, so, just kill yourself and then we can be together. And she's like, yeah, no, my husband would never ask me to do that, so you're not my husband. And yeah, there's just some great little moments like that. But then there's others where he's trying to tries to get other characters to kill themselves, and it's quite intense and quite scary, because not everyone has the expertise and experience of Elise, who's dealt with these kinds of creatures for years. So they fall for their tricks, and Not good. Alrighty, that is it for this week. Well, maybe I have another one later. I don't know. I'm kind of doing these all at once, so I don't know how they're going to be scheduled out. But that's it for this video anyway. So thanks for watching. A quick thank you to my Patreon sponsors, especially Kyle Pellegrini and Get Your Gorgeous On, the always wonderful e-mag by Michelle O'Toole and Simon Hedger. And I'll see you next time. So until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.